Good morning. You are listening to UpReach, a morning devotional presented by the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee, to encourage you as you face the opportunities and challenges of today. Let's begin this day together with some inspiring thoughts from God's holy word. After these things, Jesus and his disciples came into the land of Judea, and there he remained with them and baptized. Now John also was baptizing in Aenon near Salem, because there was much water there. And they came and were baptized, for John had not yet been thrown into prison. Then there arose a dispute between some of John's disciples and the Jews about purification. And they came to John and said to him, Rabbi, he who was with you beyond the Jordan, to whom you have testified, behold, he is baptizing, and all are coming to him. John answered and said, A man can receive nothing unless it has been given to him from heaven. You yourselves bear me witness that I said, I am not the Christ, but I have been sent before him. He who has the bride is the bridegroom, but the friend of the bridegroom who stands and hears him rejoices greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. Therefore this joy of mine is fulfilled. He must increase, but I must decrease. John chapter 3, verses 22 through 30. God never gave you that property, said one friend to another who was going through a time of great turmoil in his life. His friend's struggles were great, and so these words were hard words at the time. He was separated from his wife, and his financial resources were drying up on all fronts. He felt like he was rowing a boat with 5 big holes in it, not knowing which one to try to plug first. His business, his personal finances, and his marriage all seemed to be drying up at the same time. His friend had made an observation about some land he had purchased years before. The point his friend was trying to make was that he had acquired something that God had never given him. In other words, it was not a God-directed purchase that thus received God's blessing. It was not a byproduct of God's blessing. Rather, it was a source of sweat and toil born out of the wrong motives of the heart. In the text from Scripture I read just a moment ago, John's disciples come to him and ask him if he is the Messiah. He responds that he is not, and that one can only be what God gives him or calls him to be. He is a forerunner to the Messiah, and he is fulfilling the call God gives him. Even we today must understand that we cannot acquire or become anything that God is not giving us. God gives John his calling and his purpose. We must ask whether we are trying to be or trying to acquire anything God is not giving us. When we seek to acquire anything that God is not giving us, we can expect God to respond to us like any good father does to a child. He will remove that which the child is not supposed to have. David understands this principle. When he is preparing to furnish the temple, he tells God in his prayer, For all things come from you, and of your own we have given you. 1 Chronicles chapter 29, verse 14. This has been UpReach, a presentation of the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee. I am Kyle Bolton, the pulpit minister at Church Street, and I would like to personally invite you to come and share times of Bible study and worship with us each week. We meet every Sunday at 9 o'clock a.m. for our morning worship, followed by our Sunday school for all ages at 10:15 a.m. Then we meet again at 6 o'clock p.m. for our evening worship. We also have a midweek meeting for devotion and Bible study on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. I hope to see you there. Have a blessed day.
Change my heart.